When I look at soybeans, I think it's a remarkable plant in itself. It handles such a variety of different conditions.
It's just such a unique commodity. I mean, you can use soybeans for so many different things.
Things that you wouldn't expect is where you'd find a soybean. Shampoos.
Polymers.
Soybean meal.
Lipsticks.
Plastics.
Soy ink.
Crayons.
Other cultures that use it as a primary food source.
Soybean oil.
Soy turf.
Jet fuels.
Paint.
Non-corrosive building materials.
Carpet backing.
Soybean biodiesel.
Nobody would have saw this coming. Everybody thinks of North Dakota as a wheat-producing state, a small grain state, and now soybeans are right up there. It just gives farmers a lot more options. It's just, and the exports are amazing, and it's a great, great opportunity for the state.
The whole cycle of growing something is really a privilege for us to be able to do. Most of this has come about because of new varieties, of course, and the being able to raise soybeans further north and further west than we used to in North Dakota.
It's been a great decision on the part of this operation to have soybeans a mainstay in the crop rotation on the farm. It's worked very well for us, and we have no intentions of changing that anytime soon.
The soybean industry in North Dakota has generated a lot of value. For example, within the ag sector, soybeans in 2010 were number 2. So when you look at all the respective crops and commodities that are grown in North Dakota, wheat was number 1, soybeans came in number 2 when you look at economic value in the ag sector. That's interesting, given the fact that, you know, just 15 years ago, we had about 400,000 acres, and we have about 27.5 million acres of cultivated land in North Dakota.
Farmers, they need to make money. They've got a huge investment, and soybeans are a big part of the mix. China demand is driving soybeans. Ethanol is in part driving huge demand for corn, and those two crops, corn and soybeans, are, in my opinion, driving up the bid for acres, and to get those acres, the other crops have to raise prices. So right now, farmers are enjoying some good times.
It's starting to shift from a grower-based technology to consumer-based with the introduction of omega-3s into the soybeans. And we are ultimately consumers too, so things that would appeal to all of us.
Technology today has the ability to measure small amounts of nutrients in the soybean, that it gives us the traits that the customers sometimes look for. So we try to identify those traits that the customer is looking for, whether it's for the human consumption market, to livestock feed, and those type of situations that are there. So we try to adapt the variety that fits in our region for the farmer as well, agronomically, so it's a good mix for us to put the two together.
Soybeans, sugar beets, wheat, potatoes, they all fit together, and we need them all. We need that rotation.
It's grown immensely, and it has benefited our communities and our economy very much.
The beauty of the soybean checkoff to me is that everybody pays the same amount. We're all assessed the same percentage, so it comes out whether you're a large operator or small operator. What you pay in is your fair share, so we're all on the same footing as far as what we pay in. What we get as benefit from it is an organization that's at the forefront of research, education, communication.
If I'm not mistaken, last year they spent $1.8 million to fund various research, mostly at North Dakota State University.
Well, my connection with the Soybean Council is to work very closely with the Soybean Council with respect to research programs that are carried out here at NDSU for soybean activities, such as the soybean breeding program, the soybean pathology program, and programs in the soils department on iron deficiency chlorosis. There's also a program on food quality in soybean activities. We've got a plant breeder. His name is Dr. Ted Helms. He's been on the faculty since 1986 and has a very, very active soybean breeding project in plant sciences.
Well, my cooperation with the Soybean Council is sometimes to consult with them about new issues of soybean, and also I write yearly grant proposals to get funding for my research project from them. That's the sole source of my support for my research. It comes from the Soybean Council.
One of the other important areas of the checkoff is communicating to farmers. And North Dakota farmers will receive in their mailbox every now and then, both from the North Dakota Soybean Council and from the United Soybean Board, information on where their soybeans are going, how they're being used, and how their checkoff dollars are being spent.
They absolutely do a great job of getting information out to soybean growers in our community.
You got to promote your product, and that's the only way that you're gonna increase the use of that product, and that's the importance of the Soybean Council.
We have seen a lot of research come from those checkoff dollars to help find new uses and new markets for those commodities. And it's very significant when you look not only in this state, but also in this nation, how those checkoff programs have helped add more value to those commodities.
Soybeans have always been a good cash crop in North Dakota for many years, and in the last 20 years we went from having about 500,000 acres of soybeans up to about 4 million acres of soybeans. So it's a great cash crop. It has about $3.2 billion of economic impact to North Dakota.
The economy of soybeans has certainly grown, and especially in the Red River Valley, we see the impact. With local farmers, we see that they spend the majority of their earnings locally through businesses. So it may be their fuel supplier, it may be their seed grower or their seed salesman, it may be their buying their groceries locally.
The Main Street business, particularly the person that sells pickups, they know every year what kind of a year the farmers have had.
Soybeans have the greatest multiplier as far as dollars earned versus the revenue that's put out into other industries. So what that means is that if another crop were to come in and replace the soybean industry, it's not real likely that that crop would bring in the same impact in dollars to our communities.
Our seed business has grown simply because of the growth in soybean and corn acres in North Dakota.
North Dakota produces a lot of food-grade soybeans, so those are soybeans that can be consumed directly by humans, and we have a very, very strong industry in that respect. Most of those soybeans, food-grade soybeans, are exported to Asia.
We can't feed or eat all the soybeans we grow in North Dakota. 125 million bushel crop approximately this year. We will export about half of those. So exports mean jobs.
The world economy is growing. Every year we need more soybeans, and a lot of those soybeans also go into animal production, because as we see China and India grow, those people want a better diet, and sometimes that includes meats. Well, soybeans as a grain helps to grow that livestock so that they can have what they want. The global demand is really there, and it's going to continue to go up for the next several years as their wealth goes up, and we're going to have to grow more soybeans.
We want to promote North Dakota soybeans. We have a high quality product, and we want to promote these to Southeast Asia, China, Central America, Africa, developing countries. We want to show that we have a very good product, and we're here to deliver.
It's hard to quantify how many jobs are affected by soybean production in North Dakota, probably because we touch so many different levels. You can start out at the grower level where we're producing it, and that farmer derives his livelihood off of soybean production.
The seed sales, it may be the elevators, which in this area we have very large elevators. It may be the transportation. They may have companies that truck their product for them. It may be fertilizer, chemical, anything like that that impacts. Those are all jobs that are in our communities that are great paying jobs as well.
When you start to look at this, there's a lot of fingers in the food pie. restaurants, the hotel industry. We have grocers, all those that retail food that forget they're indirectly connected to us.
It goes right to the level of equipment dealers, the guys who sell the tractors and the combines. Soybeans touch more jobs in North Dakota than you can possibly imagine.
The Soybean Council, I think, works for the soybean industry in the state of North Dakota. I interact with a number of different commodity groups across the state, and I think that there are very few that have the desire to see their respective commodity move forward as rapidly as the Soybean Council members do.
Without soybean production, a lot of our small towns would start to blow away. Cass County, North Dakota is the largest soybean producing county in the United States. And so you can see that soybeans greatly affect what we do here in Cass County.
The soy foods market in the United States is gaining popularity, and some of the products are much better than they ever were in the past. And there are definite benefits, health benefits from eating soy that have been proven.
As a mother, I want to make sure that everything that happens in the field that I sell is safe for my family. And I see great new advances in science, in the seed traits and technology that are going to make it even easier and even safer for us to use soybeans.
The soybean growers are our neighbors, our farmers. That's who I work with day in and day out. They're the salt of the earth. And a farmer, when he talks, he's telling you the truth. And I very much enjoy working with our customers and the soybean growers.
I'm going to try to provide for my family as best I can, and I take pride in my industry, and I try to help promote it and help to create more opportunities with soybeans.
Soybeans will be here for us for quite some time. They're here to stay.